Welcome back to this special coverage as India's Prime Minister has landed in Israel, the first Indian Prime Minister ever to visit Israel. Moments ago, he visited Israel's Holocaust Museum, Yad Vashem, alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Our correspondent Jordana Miller is there for us now. Jordana, what can you tell us?
Hi, Tracy. Well, I can tell you that the chorus girls who sang there inside the Hall of Remembrance just exited, and they were just... You could sense that they were so proud to have had that opportunity to really sing for the Indian Prime Minister. Very, very powerful images, seeing him there lay the wreath and actually take a few moments there in introspection. These are extremely powerful moments, and we're sure to have more of them right now. He's actually, Modi is in the viewing the children's memorial, and then he will sign the guest book.
Okay, Jordana Miller reporting for us live at Yad Vashem, Israel's Holocaust Museum. We move now into studio. We have a new guest, our senior Middle East correspondent, Mohammed Al-Qasim, as well as our senior defence correspondent, Shai Ben-Ari, and Jewish Indian historian and writer, Elias Dandiko. Thank you, gentlemen, for staying with us.
Thank you very much.
Mohammed, we remember when US President Donald Trump visited Israel. Part of his visit was to go to the West Bank after visiting Yad Vashem. This time we know Modi is not visiting the Palestinian Authority. Why is that?
Well, that's correct. And the Palestinian officials that I spoke with yesterday in Ramallah say that there shouldn't be made any big deal or a big deal out of this non-visit to Ramallah. They reminded me that President Mahmoud Abbas was in India a few weeks ago, and he was received as a head of state. And the relationship with India, between the Palestinian Authority and India, is just fine. However, others have voiced some concern, saying that the success that former Palestinian President Yasser Arafat have had with India and other countries such as China and in Africa and elsewhere have been lost and compromised by the current Palestinian administration. And in fact, one Palestinian political analyst said that the current Palestinian leadership is in denial for not believing that they've lost India, and now India is one of Israel's biggest supporters, not only on the diplomatic side, even though that's extremely important for Israel, but also economically, technologically, and militarily.
Now, Israel is touting this as an historic visit. How is the Palestinian community reacting?
Well, it is historic, in terms of its impact on Israel. For the Palestinians, again, they say that that's fine. No one should boycott Israel. In fact, Jibril Rajoub, who is a senior member of the Fatah Central Committee, said yesterday maybe now Prime Minister Modi could use his influence and relationship with Israel in trying to revive and push forward the stalled peace process. So they're trying to spin this visit and non-visit to Ramallah and visit to Jerusalem as something that is entirely Indian-Israeli issue, but they're also saying that maybe India now, with good relationship with the Palestinians as well as with Israel, could build on it and try to bridge the gap between Israel and the Palestinians.
Okay, Shai, to bring your voice into the conversation, we know that Netanyahu has drawn parallels between Israel and the threat it faces in terms of Hamas and the threat that India faces by its enemies. Is this an accurate parallel to be drawn?
Well, it is a controversial one. Certainly, Netanyahu has come under attack in various circles for, making comparisons between Al-Qaeda and Hamas, Islamic State and Hamas. I get the impression that there's a certain appreciation in perhaps Indian society, or parts of Indian society at least, for this for the ties that Netanyahu points out between different groups engaged in violent jihadist terrorism. I think that there's a lot of feeling that perhaps in India that they're suffering from, and India has suffered its own share of terrorism over the years, has often been overlooked. And I think they perhaps appreciate Netanyahu drawing links between all forms of jihadist terrorism around the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. There seems to be a certain appreciation for that outlook, which Netanyahu certainly expresses at every opportunity. He draws these kinds of comparisons.
But this may be actually problematic for the Indian Prime Minister. We know that there are at least 140 million Muslims who live in India, and India has historically had great relationship with Iran and other Arab countries who India has a great economic relationship with. And India needs to be extremely careful in how it deals with not only Hamas issue, but other issues that are relating to the Middle East, and this is one very important issue.
Right. Just very briefly, sorry, Alice, because we're about to take a break. I just wanted to get a view very briefly as to whether there is an idea that Modi will play a role, at least in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Well, definitely. It has shown itself in India, at least, that Muslims and Hindus and Jews and Christians and otherwise do live in coexistence. So I think there's a lot to be learned from Modi and his visit also in Israel.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, 1 minute, and we're back. We'll continue this conversation right after this.